my name is Mel Pubel and I'm the Service Learning Coordinator, meaning that my job is to help our high school students connect with service opportunities, either individually, independently, or through our service clubs and service trips. What I'm going to explain today is our basic service requirement that we have for every high school student. So this website is available to you through Veracross. You'll be able to find a link on the sidebar that says ACS Service Learning. And then if you go to the high school tab, you'll see here the page for service requirement. So in the past, ACS students have been required to do 10 hours of service. And we've actually updated that requirement a little bit because, to be honest, that's the same requirement that I had when I was in high school. So it's a little bit outdated, and we wanted to kind of reevaluate the program a little bit and try to create a service requirement that is a little bit more flexible and open to kind of student choice. We're very lucky that ACS is a school that values service so much. And I absolutely love the potential of this program in helping students to uncover new interests and passions and skills. So you can find all the information about what students have to do for service in high school on this page. There's plenty for you to read about. Here's a slide presentation that I have presented to students. And there's also a full screencast here of me explaining the service requirement. On this page, you'll also be able to find the different options of types of service work students can do. And let me just explain now what these different categories mean. So in the slideshow here, I'm going to go ahead a few pages, sorry. Okay, service at ACS means learning about ourselves, our communities, and the greater world by voluntarily supporting events and issues through direct action, indirect action, advocacy, and research. So this is what's new for us this year, is breaking down what service means into these 4 components. So students, instead of counting hours, are now required to try out the different types of service, and this is what they are. So we have direct service, which is what we're used to, which is personally working directly with the community or the cause being supported. So when students used to volunteer on campus to sell food at Picnic in the Park, that was direct service because they were directly, working with all the people attending that event. When we went on service trips, that's direct service because we're directly working with the communities involved. Another option that we do often at ACS also is indirect service, which is action supporting a community in need, but without actually seeing the people that we're supporting. So that might look like fundraisers or like clothing drives or canned food drives and that type of thing. That would be indirect service. Then we also have advocacy and research, which are the 2 types of service that we're going to be focusing on this year because they're more accessible to us right now through technology. So advocacy means speaking on behalf for a group or a cause to inspire further action, to get people involved and engaged in a particular movement or issue. And then research is also something that I think is often not thought of as service, but it is a really, really important part. It's gathering and analyzing information to then later report out and help raise awareness. And so a lot of the time, just starting this research phase will lead to the other types of service. But it's a really, really important element that I want to make sure that we're highlighting and students know is a really valuable part of service as well. So once students have a clear picture of this, which will take a little bit of time because it's brand new, I'm going to be very available to everybody for questions. I'm also creating a frequently asked questions page or section that's going to be added to this page. But every student will be required to complete all of these types of service at some point in high school. But every year, they'll need to complete only 3. So I could decide this is the year where I really want to expand my knowledge and I'm going to do all research this year. I'm going to do 3 different research service experiences, meaning I'm going to research 3 different things, or I'm going to research 3 different topics connected to the same issue. And I'm going to produce some sort of notes or some sort of video or something connected to this research, and I'm going to write reflections on it. Or I could say I'm going to do 1 research experience, 1 advocacy piece, and 1 direct service piece. It's really up to the student to choose how they want to do their combination of 3 service experiences per year. They just have to keep in mind that by the end of high school, they have to have tried all 4. This is going to apply to everyone except for our seniors now, who obviously only have 1 year to complete it all. So they are free to only complete 3 of these service opportunities this year, and that's completely up to their choice. So as I mentioned before, down here on the page, there's a few ideas for what students can do. A direct service, a great opportunity for this year is going to be to offer after-school activities for elementary and for middle school students. Virtually, of course, but I'm hoping that a lot of students take advantage, high school students take advantage of that. For advocacy, there's all types of options like social media posts or podcasting videos, creating websites, writing a song, and figuring out the best platform to share out this information later. And for research, I've also added lots of ideas here. And then wherever there's a link, it's because there's a specific opportunity or specific task or like guidelines or a template that I've created that students can follow along with. So I'm going to keep adding to this throughout the year. I'm also emailing students directly when there's different opportunities that come up at different points throughout the year. And I've also set some guidelines for students to follow. So by December, I would like everybody to have their first service opportunity logged. By March, I'd like them to have their second. And by June, obviously, or the end of May, really, I'd like them to have their final service opportunity logged. So by the end of May, we will have all 3 finished, and hopefully have learned a lot through our new service requirement. So please feel free to reach out to me with any questions, and or definitely start by accessing this website through Veracross. Again, it's called ACS Service Learning. On the side of your Veracross page is one of the links. All right, thank you so much for your time, and I look forward to working with all of your children in service.